your background is the best, by the way, with
Oh,
your
thank you.
I love it. All right. Hello. Hello, hello, everyone. I think we are live. Still getting used to the StreamYard thing. Um, so if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, please, please. We'll wait and see if the masses can hear us. We'll wait and see if the masses can hear us. Is that you or me that's echoing?
That was me turning off my cell phone.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so we know we're live, which is awesome. So I'm super excited that you are here.
Thank you for the invite.
You are most welcome. Did you know that before I got involved in YouTubing, I had no idea that a bug out bag was a thing. I didn't even know that they existed. My parents had something kind of similar. It was like a Tupperware box that they kept in the basement because we lived in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by fields. So when we had a storm, there was not really much to block the wind, and they were fierce. So it always had peanut butter and crackers and water, so that when we went downstairs to avoid the storms, I had little snacks.
See, that's called a bug in. There's a bug in and a bug out.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
that way you don't have to run around and scramble at the last minute looking for the things you need. You already have them in a bucket or a bag of, like that. So yeah, that's a bug in.
Oh, okay. So we had bug in, but we never had anything bug out. So just recently, we grabbed some books for Christmas, and we got really interested in. My husband especially got really interested in the equipment to put in a bug out bag. Me, I'm interested in the food. My bag will have the food. I don't want to be hungry. I can figure things out as long as I have a way to get food. So I have my bag that I take hiking and foraging with me. That will eventually become probably my bug out bag, and it's got the multi-tool and the little things.
Yes.
But I am super excited to chat with you about bug out bags. To start out, can you tell us a little bit about you and your channel?
I am My Renaissance Grandma, and I am Renaissance because I do a lot. I do not have one niche on my channel. I have indoor garden, I have outdoor garden, I do a little acrylic pour painting. I cook plant-based food. I prep food, and so I do a little bit of everything. So yeah, so you won't come over there and find one thing. You never know what you're gonna find over there.
That's awesome. I like the variety. I've seen some of your art stuff on there as I've been browsing around. So I think that's
very, very new.
And you're a baker, right? So all kinds of baking stuff going on?
Well, I used to cater and bake. That's the past. But yeah.
But I feel like you still have some videos that are coming out of fun baked goods.
You never know. You never know.
All right. I think that's pretty amazing that you've made room, you've made a place for all the different interests. That's very cool.
Yeah. Yes, I had to because I like doing it all. I would be very bored if I didn't have all of these things to do in my life.
Exactly. And one thing is it's just not enough. You need some distractions from your distractions.
Absolutely. Not enough.
So let's check in the chat and say hi to our people. Hello, Sweet Thumb. Hello, Kenneth Wilkinson, a.k.a. Chris. Hello, Official Jamia and Buddha and Deborah Garrett. Hello, Deborah Garrett. Hello, Mr. Formerly. What was your former one? I don't know, but now you're farting pain. So I will just suck it up and greet you by your new name. Thank you everybody from the swoop raid coming in. And hey, Crooked Peach. Nice to see you. Nice to see Auntie Mama's Kitchen, Gina versus Gina. That is very cool. And my husband is watching. Look at that, little James Myers. Very cool. Nice to see you, honey. Drive safe. Try not to look at the screen. He's driving to work as we talk. So I knew he wouldn't miss yours because he's got his bug out bag basically packed-ish. He's got he read a book and found a lot of things to put in it. And we had talked a little bit about weight. What we decided, because hopefully we'll be together in any disaster, he's got his with the heavy stuff because he's a big strapping dude at 6'2". I am barely 5 feet with a small bit of rounding. So yeah, mine will be the food and things.
But you cannot just do that, because what if you all get separated? He won't have any food.
Right. And I won't have packs.
Everything else. Yeah, so so
really,
that needs to be a little mix up.
Yeah, definitely. We've got some work to do, so I'm pretty excited to hear all of your wisdom. So how did you start with bug out bags? What made you start?
Okay, to be honest, I did not know what a bug out bag was until 4 years ago. Wow. I was accustomed to the being prepared bag. That's what I did. Right. That's what I taught, the people at work. Mm-hmm. I had bug out. No, that was nowhere in my vocabulary, but I did teach them to be prepared. And so that's why I'm going to start with that, because that is called your EDC bag, your everyday carry.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And so your everyday carry, it does not have, all the things that a bug out bag has in. Okay, so let me tell you what the benefits of why you need an everyday carry. An everyday carry is you just going on errands. This needs to always stay in your car. Mm-hmm. This is running errands or whatever you do when you leave the home, it should be in the car. Why? Because you could be on your way back home and you see all the flashing lights, you see the horses up there, you see the police saying you can't enter in here. And you're like, but I live here. And they're like, yeah, we know, but you cannot get in here because there's a big chemical leak and no one is allowed in here. And there you are sitting there with nothing. So if you have everyday care, absolutely. Okay. You could be running up the street or you could be running over friends' house. It does not matter. You need this bag because you never know when something is going to prevent you from coming into your neighborhood. And I've seen it happen. Matter of fact, as I was teaching my employees, it happened a couple blocks from our job. So it was right on time for me to show them the scenarios of why you need these things.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So, do you have enough family and friends so you can go to someone's house when they tell you you cannot get in your home? Right. You're going to have hotel money, or where would you be sleeping? If you don't have money and you don't have friends and family, you may be stuck in that car.
Yeah.
So anyway, the bottom line is you need whatever you need daily. You need toiletries. You need medicine, flashlight, first aid kit, water, food, extra clothing, because you have no idea how long, because they most likely would tell you, well, you need to watch the news, and they would tell you when you're able to get back into your neighborhood. And
Mm,
depending on how bad that gas leak or that chemical leak or whatever, it didn't even have to be either one of those. It just could have
yeah.
been anything that happened in your neighborhood. We've seen it on the news plenty of times where people were not allowed
Yeah.
back into their neighborhood. So you
Yeah.
do not want to be stuck with absolutely nothing that belongs to you. Okay? I mean, you
Yeah.
can even go to grandma's house and you have nothing of your own, and you might have to wear grandma bloomers. Grandma bloomers, it covers the bottom and the top. You'll have a bra and a underwear in all in one. so you
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
want to be wearing.
Yeah, I'm writing that down on my list. Extra underwear.
So you don't want. So you don't want to be wearing something that belongs to someone else. You want to have your own personal items. Okay.
All right.
So
Yes, ma'am.
and the other big thing is, we've seen this how many times. If you live way out in the boonies and
Mhm.
something happens on your way in, you're stuck on the side of a dark road where there is nothing.
Right.
So you also need like purification tablets. You might have to go get some water from some nearby lake. You
Yeah.
also need your little water container kit, all the little ones that you can, at least once you get that water out of the stream or whatever, then you can boil it and then run it through your straws, because them straws just
Oh,
don't work by themselves. So these things
okay.
are very important.
I had
So go
never
ahead.
seen one of those before. One
Well,
of
one
those
of these.
water kits. Yeah.
Oh no, this is the stove.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
to
So it's your
boil the
camp
water.
stove,
Yeah, this is your
basically.
little camp set. And they have many kinds. This one is a little bit bigger than the one in my bug out bag, but yeah, you'll be able to boil you some water. And
Okay.
it has a lot of little other necessities you may need in here. But see, a lot of people just don't think that these things would ever happen, but things are happening more and
They
more
do.
lately than we've ever seen before. And
Yeah.
then another thing is, you have to have that blanket, that
Mhm.
Mylar blanket, because look how many people were stranded from the bad weather.
Yeah.
A lot of those
Absolutely.
people had to end up getting up, leaving their cars. But in the beginning, you don't know how long this is going to last. So you're just going to sit there thinking this traffic is going to be clear at some point, and you're freezing.
Yeah.
You're hungry. You need to go potty. And that's
Hmm.
another thing. These are some
TP.
more things that I am ordering. These things right here, they're like a bag.
Hmm.
These are on Amazon, and these are little urinals for females and males. You don't have to bend, all of us don't have Megan knees, okay? You don't even have to squat, okay? This
Nice.
Yes, ma'am. This is a female urinal, just like a male, and they're nice and flat. So you can put these in your bag. You can have these in your bug out bag and also your everyday bag, because you don't know how long you're going to be sitting in that car. So
Right.
these
And
are just some of the things that I have. You can also pull up a list that they can tell you what also to get, but these are just things nobody ever think is going to happen, and you are stuck with nothing. So
yeah.
this is your everyday, and you need bug spray, you need maps, because just like this
Oh,
just happened to me a couple weeks ago. Now I was right in my neighborhood. Well, I was in between my neighborhood, but I knew where I was going because I used to live in the neighborhood. But it was a bad accident.
hmm.
The police guy, I had no idea where I was. I was in straight farmland country. I
Yeah.
had never seen that before. I did not know where I was. So all I did was follow the rest of the people. So it is so
Ah.
many things we just don't think about. Okay.
So I have a
And the link for the female urinal, Okay.
Bayou. That's funny. I don't know. I don't know what I need to do to let you do that. Hold on a second. Let me go
I
over
can
to the
probably just
YouTube
I can
side.
probably just text it in there.
I think so. If not, if it doesn't let you, I'm going to make sure I gave you a wrench on the Facebook channel. I don't remember
And
who
this
I
is
did and didn't give wrenches to last time I was on.
Amazon.
Let's see. Oh, and we've got Stay Hall. Hey, Miss Stay Hall, the Glamour Planner. Nomads. What are new nomads? Frugal Mama. I don't know that I've heard of those.
Okay, you can get it in 12 bags or you can get it in 24 bags. You can get it in pink or you can get it in blue, but it doesn't matter. It's not saying that blue is boy and pink is girl. It's just giving you an option of color. And so everybody can use the same one. And like I said, for those who did not hear, you do not have to bend to use this female urinal. So your knees will be okay. If you have to just scoot down in your car, especially if you're on a highway and there's been massive accidents, and and most of the times after you sit in the car for a while, your windows are fogged up, so no one will even be able to see you squatting down just to use this urinal. But these are very useful.
So if you want to put the link in the chat, I just changed the settings to make you a moderator. So you should be able to put
I
a link.
put the name of it. I put the name of it in there. But I don't know how to.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, it's the Batu disposable urine bag and from Amazon.
And that would be it's the setup would make it a lot less messy, right? Because I'm a country girl. I have used the bathroom in the woods many a time and it is messy.
But yeah, well, but you know what? It's you can't see it because it's white, but once they go online, they can see it. It's the way the cup is made. Is when you put that up to you, it's going to go right down in it.
Ooh, that's perfect.
Yeah, this is going to be. This is
That's
for camp.
perfect.
This could be for anything.
Yeah,
You know,
I need those for camping. For camping and just for
absolutely.
foraging. Because there comes a point when we get to fall where I'm out in the woods foraging and there is no cover. All the leaves are gone. Everyone can see everything everywhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, these going to be beneficial. Okay.
Awesome. Oh, that's cool.
And you probably also would need walkie-talkie or ham radios. You need to keep any of these in your bags because at least if your cell phone has died, some people just drive on a little bit of gas, charge up, can't charge it up, whatever. Oh,
that would be
you.
me.
Oh my God.
I am notorious. I'm like, you know what? I'm on the lights flashing, but I can make it back home.
Oh my Lord.
That is a very bad mindset to be in disaster. And I have to be careful. My neighbor beside me is kind of like an anti-government. If they come for me, you better duck kind of a guy. I am statistically very much more likely to not be able to get access to my house than your average person because he's statistically more likely to be raided by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
I need to make some life changes. Yes.
And make sure you have hand sanitizer or wet wipes so you can clean your hands before you eat and clean your hands after you use your urinal. So yes, this is Odom. Everybody need a bug out bag, but we're actually talking about the everyday carry bag right now. Okay, so the everyday carry is short term because there's nothing going on in your neighborhood. And as soon as you get out of whatever is preventing you from getting home, that's not going to be, well, we don't know how long it would be, but it's not going to be as long as possibly if it is the bug out bag. That could be long term, that could be forever. But we will get into that. So does anybody have any questions about the EDC bag, which is the everyday carry just in before we go to the bug out.
I think I definitely, my husband has one of these. I do not. I need to build mine up. I have a backpack I carry everywhere, but that's not really sufficient. It doesn't have what it needs inside. Let's see.
And a lot of our bags are going to be different depending on what our personal needs in, but the emergency items which should be the same. We all need the same emergency stuff, but as far as if you need medication, if you need your contact, any of those other things will be personal to that person.
Right. That makes sense. And based on what kind of disasters, there may be some additional things that you flow in there.
Because I have mine, and see, now don't judge me, okay? Now your everyday carry should be just like a little backpack that you can throw on your back. But as you can see, I can barely lift this one. This stays in my car all the time. And you do want plenty of socks. Because if you have to get out, if it's snowing or anything, and you have to go in, ice or water, you want to be able to change your socks.
Yes.
And have trash bags in there. Like I said, just personalize your own, bags.
I did not think about that, but I have had wet feet on a cold day. I know that I needed extra socks. Yes, ma'am.
And if you do live way out in the country, you also should have a generator. If it's in the wintertime, you should have the smallest heater. And I think I meant to look because I have one. I think it might be 4 amps. I don't know. It's one that has the smallest amount of amps. It might be a 3.5. You can generally use that on some of the medium-sized generators. But if you know you live way out somewhere and you going into town, then you need to add those extra, the generators and the heaters and all of those extra things. And this is easy for people who have a garage, because a lot of us cannot just leave these bags in our car, because we would just be saying, it's yours. You can have it.
Right. I do have a question. So do you have a meeting point for like your friends and family if there's a disaster where you all would meet? Because I was thinking about that today.
You're supposed to.
Okay.
You are supposed to. But we have yet, first of all, there are some people who are blessed enough to have family and friends in other states. And so you can say, hey, if something happens there, you can come here. If something happens here, can me and my family come there? These are the things you need to be doing now. You need to be doing these things now. But some of us don't have anyone to go to out of town. So, and the whole family is already here and everybody is senior. I mean, I'm old, but they are way older than me. Okay, so it's just this little group of old people.
Our plans for if there's a disaster have been very interestingly specific, because we have my mother-in-law, we have my mom who's currently in a nursing home, and James's aunt, who should probably be in that list, but she can outwork me. She can outwork me every day. So she just needs a little help getting off the ground if she sits. Otherwise, yeah. But that is a valid point. We don't, as a family, I think we know where we would meet, because one of the people has the old family property for my husband's family. But Wellness with Frugal Mama, I didn't until last year. I had to let my people know if something goes down, we coming through, plus had to map alternate routes. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Thank you, Cece.
Yes.
Cece, that is so funny, because one day we were talking about this on someone's live, and someone was talking about who's prepared, who got what, and you know how they all joked about how I was so prepared at the bug out weekend. And so I'm in the chat and I'm like, well, you all know I have my own stuff. I said, is there anybody that can take me in? You know, if something
You
happens.
can come to
I mean,
Indiana.
it was crickets. No,
What?
one person that was TLC.
What kind of fool?
Miss TLC was the only one said, you are welcome here. And I'm like, oh,
Man,
they get up. Okay, everybody gets on here every day saying we got to work together, we got to stick together. And here I'm asking who can take me in, and I mean nobody said anything with that.
what? Ma'am, I would take you in just to learn how the spice bags work.
I said, well, I guess we're gonna be in the car because
wow, you always have a place in Indiana. My place is tiny, but we can pack all the community in. Everybody, Terre Haute, Indiana, close to I-70. Everybody can pack in. Hey, Huga. I always forget how to say that.
yeah.
I feel like I missed something important from Odom. Wellness with Frugal Mama, blankets need to be up in there. We've had to use one from our everyday bag. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have ours because we're in Indiana where it's cold in the winter. We always have blankets in ours just as a general practice. In Indiana, everybody's got the blanket in the back because you never know when you are going to slide on snow or ice and be stranded for a while. So,
and you have to have both the blankets because you never know. You cannot really depend on everything that's in your car because what if you have to abandon your car?
Right.
So you can, because I always keep extra blankets, sweaters, jackets, all of that. So as long as you in your car, you pretty good. But if you have to leave that car, that's when you do have to depend on those little Mylar blankets because that's those easy to tuck in a bag or something. It's just kind of hard where you already got this heavy bug out bag and now you're trying to, have blankets and all that. So you do need both.
Okay. That's good. I put those on my list because we don't have any Mylar blankets at the moment. And that would be
really? Do you know what they look like?
I do. I've seen them because they remind me of like if aluminum foil had a baby with plastic.
Thank you, Odom.
Hard to explain, but yeah. Rain poncho. Yes, ma'am. Now those you can get those at the Dollar Tree.
Oh yeah, you can find those just about anywhere. But I have plenty of medicine. I have plenty of pain medicine because you just don't know if you're gonna get hurt.
That is true.
I have all, and this is my EDC bag. This is not even okay. Here they are.
Oh my goodness!
See, they are there. Now this is how many. This is about 6 in here, but they are very little. So these, can keep you warm.
They are littler than I expected.
Yeah, they are very warm. They can keep you. It won't be the best, but if you have nothing, and then your poncho. So so this is it for all those who came in later. This is the everyday carry bag. This is just if you leave your home to run errands, to go to a friend's house, and when you get back to your neighborhood, there's something has happened. There's a chemical leak or something, and you're not allowed back into your home. And they tell you that you can't come in here, but listen to the news. They'll let you know when you can come back, and now you don't have anything from your home. So this is what I started off with is this. Then you want fire starter stuff. Because like I said, it's different for those who do live in the country.
Yes,
because you got all the wild out there and you might have to build a fire to stay warm. So it's so many different things and scenarios. Like I said, you make these bags up built on your life. If you're in the country, if you're in the city and all of this, just so you can have everything you need, your toiletries, your towels, and some extra clothes in case you get wet, you want to be able to change them. And the type of clothes that I chose are leggings. because leggings, you can roll a legging up to about this size. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And so
Smart.
I have, so all of these are leggings and just little thin shirts.
Okay.
And because, I was able to get a lot of them in here because they're so little, you can just roll them up. So this was my choice of clothing because it will fit.
And you can put on 4 pairs of leggings over each other.
You absolutely
so you can. Be warm.
I got some that's thick and some that's thin. So because you don't know what the weather is going to be in case something happens.
What is a Silcock key? Who can mention that?
I was going to talk about that. I have that in the bug out bag.
Okay.
I will show you that when we get to it.
Okay.
And I also, so are we ready to go to the bug out bag now?
Unless anybody has a question, I think we are.
Cece says she don't have any small legs. Okay, so bug out bag. But what I also have is bug out pants. Okay. I have those pants that have all the pockets.
Oh yeah.
Because your bug out bag has so many items in it, and some of the smaller things are all in the bottom. So you need things on you. You need protection on you.
Yes,
you may need medicine that you have to take. You need a flashlight on you. There are things that you can stuff in all of these pockets that you don't have to keep. If you're walking, you don't have to keep stopping to pull that bag off your shoulder. You can put the things that you're going to need in. So that's why I said I need bug out pants. That way I can put a lot of things in about 6 pockets. Mm-hmm. So that's what I chose for that. Okay, so the bug out bag, and for those who don't know anything about a bug out bag, you can go to FEMA. FEMA has a list. Or you can, it's a list on FEMA. And that FEMA has two. And if you just Google it, you can pull up one. And one is what you was talking about earlier. One has a bug in bag and it has a bug out bag. Okay. And a lot of these things are going to be the same. But so if you never ever have to leave your car, you're going to be in good shape because you're going to have everything in your bug out and you're going to have everything in your everyday carry. So that would be ideal if you don't have to get out, because I could never carry both of these at the same time.
No, ma'am. I'm doing good to carry one. Both is an absolute no. Who gets a tourniquet in outside pocket of pants for ready access?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. So I thought about that you really need things that you need to get to quick. And you don't want to have to dig through those big old bug out bags. So I said, okay, I need pockets.
Yes. I need to get, what I need to look for, because I'm little, is some of those men's overalls, but for boys, because clearly I'm not man-sized, because they have all the pockets too.
They talking about yeast infections and everything.
Yes, I pointed out to Odom that long johns are really thick stretch pants. So clearly men do not get yeast infections from them. But okay, Analytic Gardener said 511 pants as their bug out pants. I don't know what that is. Do you know what those are?
No, I haven't heard of 511 pants. Unless it's some pants that I just didn't know that was the name of them, 511.
Right.
So if you want to explain that, he can. Okay, so bug out bag. Bug out bag could be long term or short term. It depends on the reason why you had to bug out. Okay. Oh, he said 511 is the brand. Okay. I don't know what brand this is.
Ooh, did you see Janet Cruising's comment? Instead of a backpack, you could get a sewing machine carrying case that has the wheels and the handle, and then you put everything in there and just roll it with you. Well, I feel like in certain circumstances that would be really, really cool, unless you had to go out in the wilderness.
And it would be ideal. Like I said, we never know what's going to happen, but it would be ideal if we're able to stay in our cars and all this, because I have wagons in my car, I have buggies in my car, so I can throw both of these. If I have that option to
Mhm.
put these two in my wagon, then that's what I would do. But I just keep my
Oh
wagon
my
in my car
gosh,
at
that's
all times.
brilliant.
Yeah,
We have one of those wagons. I've got to get it back from a friend, but
yeah.
huh.
I have two. I have three of them. So one stays in the house, and then one buggy and one uh, wagon stays in the car. So that, like, if I have that option that I can wheel my stuff, absolutely. But we don't know what we're talking about that's
Yeah.
going on. Which,
Yeah,
for
some
those
places
who
you
do
can't.
not know, I'm going to give you a few reasons why you may have to bug out, just in case. I know a lot of us do know, but everybody don't.
Hmm?
Okay, so some reasons where you may have to leave your home could be an out of control fire in your neighborhood. It can be hurricane. It could be other weather related destructions. It could be unrest in the neighborhood. It can be any unforeseen evacuation, and it could be war related. So
Yeah.
that's what we say. It could be short term. You may have to leave a while and come back. But like I said, if it's a destruction or a fire that you see just taking over, you may never come back. So you really want to get things in this bag because you know that your house may be gone when you get back.
Yeah.
And so number one on the list for me was um, the important paperwork in a waterproof pouch, because you may never be coming back to this, this house. So you want all your important information.
Do you
Okay.
have any recommendations for those? I know there's different kinds. My dad fished, and he would keep
Uh,
all of his different ID type things in a pouch, but some leaked and some didn't, which he found out. So I didn't know if you had any recommendations for those.
I don't, but baby, it's got to be on Amazon. I was given mine as a gift, when I worked. It was one of our yearly gifts. So I
Hmm.
don't know what, but I'm sure that everything is on Amazon. I'm sure if you just put in emergency document waterproof pouch, I'm sure it would pop right up.
Yeah, definitely. I need to get
Okay.
one of those for when we're hiking in general too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got to be waterproof because we have no idea what we're going to encounter when we're out in those streets.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they have those nice little shovels that you can fold up now. Okay,
My
you would need
husband's
an
got one of
axe.
those.
And see, these things, just so people won't be wondering why I need all of this. I had already given the scenario. It depends on where you live. If you live in the country, like deep, deep in the woods, you may need some of
Green.
these things. Now, a city person may not, or they may, because we don't know how bad the situation is when these things happen. So, axe, you can cut up wood if you need to make wood. That's why we have the fire starter stuff, because you may have to build a fire. And let me find that silicox thing she was talking about. Now, these are in case there's a lot of damage everywhere and you find a water spout, you can connect this because you can only carry so much water on you. I don't care
Mhm.
if you have the bottled water, I don't care if you have the little flat or MRE water, you can only carry so much water on you. So if you run into somewhere where you see, oh
Mhm.
my goodness, but you can't get into it, well, this little thing will allow you to get into that water. So let me show you the two things I have in case I need to tap into some water.
Ooh, so Hoga, let me show that while you're while you're getting in there. Shared her fire making kit. So in there, she's got a lighter, matches, waterproof would be best, a ferro rod and fire starters, cotton ball and Vaseline, dryer lint, magnesium shavings, commercially available fire starters. What are the magnesium shavings? I haven't heard about the purpose of those. We we were watching something, and they had some that you made with pine and the sap from pine because it's super, super flammable. But I don't remember what you put it into to keep it from not setting on fire in your bag. Because it's not helpful to have a bag that bursts into flame on its own.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to open this silicock because I had never opened it.
Oh, okay.
Just so you all can see what it is.
Magnesium shavings help start a fire from a spark. All right. Because I'm in Indiana, unless it's, even if it's just rained, we're pretty dry here. But when we were in Tennessee, we were camping, and we were in an area that was super, super consistently wet, and finding things to start a fire, I had no idea it was so difficult. Ooh.
And this is two of them came in this box.
And how do you use those? Just
I really don't know.
okay, I don't
But
know.
I know if I need to,
You'll figure it out.
I
then?
will. I
All
will
right.
figure it out then because I've never used it. But
That is cool. My husband's got something for water, but I don't know what he has, because at the time we got books this winter, he got one on making his bug out bag, and I got one on some kind of medicinal mushrooms or something. So I wasn't paying attention to what he did. But I think one of these days, maybe I'll bring him on live and we'll see what's in his bag. And you can critique him.
and they do have all kinds of. You also need your little tablets. If for whoever didn't know, I know a lot of people do know what these look like. And I hear that these are at Walmart, so you can get that. And she talked about the ferro rod. Do you know what a ferro rod is?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you know what that is. And then I have
For
two
starting your
different
fires.
types. Yes. And I have two different type of matches. The waterproof.
Oh, this
And
is a cool tip. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
no, go ahead. Oh, was you talking to me or her?
I was telling you about a couple of these comments that are in here. A silcock key is a key that most commercial buildings have on their water outlets.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vision Preparedness. Huga says, I like to keep a plastic kids manual pencil sharpener to get shavings from a stick and to make the tip of a stick pointy. That is something really small that has some cool uses. Crooked Peach said a bag of Fritos for a fire starter in a pinch. Yes, ma'am. Crooked, what she's filtering and what she's not saying is that she believes that is all that Fritos are good for, is being the fire starter. But Crooked Peach filtered her little self. Thank you, Crooked Peach. I have so many things that I need to find or buy. What?
This is the other one that you can use to tap into a water. Let me just take it out of here. You can't see through here.
I'm gonna make you big for that if I remember how. Okay, I think this. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so this is something else. Yeah, this is something else you can use to tap into water.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like you could attach that to anybody's like hose attachment on their house too. Hopefully they're okay with that. However, in a disaster, I won't be asking questions.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Who is going to be asking questions?
Exactly.
Okay, so
wow, Jakes is on here on both of his channels. Look at him. Did you see that he made a new channel today for the grandbabies?
No, it was about 3 days ago because he's been playing doubles. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That is
Okay,
cool.
so oh, you need flares, glow sticks, trash bags, first aid, toiletries, food, water, medicine, fire
Glow
starters,
sticks. Glow sticks like what you buy
glow.
for
No,
kids.
it's I just had them. Maybe I got everything just bagged up. You know the glow sticks.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. You just pop
okay.
them, and then
Uh-huh.
you have and you have instant light.
Oh, nice. Nice, nice. I didn't know those were a thing.
I even have a screwdriver in here. Why? I don't know.
You know what, though? There are a lot of things that you can do in a desperate situation if you have a screwdriver, especially if it's got the Phillips and the flathead
Yep.
like switcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make a lot of things if you got some basic tools.
Okay. Fire starter blanket, raincoat, clothes, extra socks, cooking supplies, water purification, cash, whistle, compass, rubber
Hmm.
gloves, and also if like I said, people who can keep their car in the garage or whatever. If I could keep my car in a garage, I would already have my tent and my swim vest. So those who can't keep those things in their car, I would already have those things somewhere in my car. Even if you have to lift up that thing where that spare tire used to go and shove some of that stuff in there, I would already have
Ooh,
some of that stuff in there. And
that
you're
is
not
smart.
supposed to, yeah. And this bag is not supposed to be too heavy that you can't carry, but it's kind of hard to get everything you need without making it too heavy. So, yeah,
Right? Yeah, that's complicated because some of those things weigh a bit. And there
yeah.
are some that you really can't do without because you need them.
That's why I'm hoping that I can use my wagon.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Or find someone tall in your disaster to travel with that can bench press a Buick. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little
So,
complicated though if you
yeah.
don't have one in residence. Hmm.
So, any
So
questions? Go ahead.
I had one, but I'm trying to remember what it was. I think I lost my thought. But that makes sense. So some of the things are similar to what's in your everyday carry,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
some are. Sweet Thumb said a multi-tool and a small pry bar are must-haves.
Yep. I have a multi-tool.
I have a multi-tool, and then I think maybe
Yep.
I should put, and that's in. People laugh at me because I'm a forager. First and foremost, I'm a forager, so I always have cutting implements in whatever I'm carrying that day.
Right, right.
And so some of the
Yeah.
time I'm in public places doing public things and a random knife falls out onto the ground from my backpack.
Right,
It's
right.
slightly awkward. But I think talking about this, I think I may take I've got one screwdriver with like the 20 different heads that you can put on it
Right,
around. Maybe
exactly.
that should be in my bug out bag. We don't use it a lot in the house because my husband's got the full tool set outside.
Uh-huh.
But analytic
And,
gardening.
and
Oh,
and
what were you
don't forget your maps. And I even have a magnifying glass because what if something happens to my glasses? I will be able to see a
right?
little bit off distance, but if I'm trying to help somebody and they said, read this to me, I would not be able to read it to them. So I even have a magnifying.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm really nearsighted, so I'd be able to see the map just fine. But to hunt, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. But maybe that's something to do with your old glasses. When you get a new prescription, maybe we should throw a pair or two of our old glasses in the bags.
I do. I have a pair
Yeah.
in here. I got an old pair in here. And I even had, and then these pack. And then you can also stick things on the outside, like you might need this flashlight emergency, and you might not have to have the pocket for that. But for those who missed it, when I told them that I also have bug out pants that have about 6 pockets in it. So
Yes,
things
ma'am.
that I may need to get to emergently, I don't have to sit down, pull this bag off, dig through all of this stuff. I could just reach in my
Right?
pocket and grab the emergent stuff. So whatever is important to you to have in those pockets, like cell phone, protection, maybe if you knew you had to take a medication at a certain time, flashlights, just whatever you need in those pockets you can have. So yeah, I made the effort to go buy some bug out pants, and they sit on top of my bug out bag.
Smart. That is very smart. Huga said trash bags for trash to sit on, small shelter if raining to keep you and your bag and things dry. Can even use to collect water. So lots of
Yeah, I named.
uses.
Yeah, I have a whole roll of trash bags. Yes, ma'am.
I need to grab those.
And I have things to write with because you don't know what's gonna happen. I have post-it notes.
Mm.
I
I
have
think my
blocks.
husband.
You never know what you can do with that. I just have all kind of stuff. You just never know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to end up sitting with my husband when he's off on Monday and watching this and going through rewatching us. Huga asked, "Did we talk water for water purification? We did.
We talked it all. Yeah, we pretty much hit it all.
Sweet Thumb, I always get the heavy produce bags at the store. Keep some in all the bags. I don't know what you mean about heavy produce bags. We don't seem.
They
We
very
just got.
flimsy.
Yeah. We only have one size at our store, and it is not going to be helpful for much of anything.
Anyone in the Midwest, with you in the Midwest, Menards. Those are the best bags. It is hard to turn a
Ooh,
Menards bag. So
you
every time
know,
we go, we put ours in 3 bags. I don't care how light it is, so we can have 2, well, 3 total. We have the one with the
right?
stuff in it, and we put everything in 3 sets of bags. Menards, I hope you're not listening.
I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that because we do have Menards, and they are.
Yes, we
Now
said
that you
bug
mention
spray
it,
too,
they
Huga.
are. Yeah, Huga says batteries rubber banded to outside of flashlights so they don't corrode. Okay. Vision Preparedness suggested contractor trash bags. Now those are the pinnacle of trash bags.
They
Those are the
are.
ones that you can use. You can use them to make a tent roof in
You
a.
can do a lot with them bags. They tall and thick and wide.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can
Those
do
are
a
good
lot with that.
things.
And rope, you need rope.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You
So, like I
can't.
said, this might seem overwhelming to a lot of people, all this that I've named. We know you cannot put it all in there, especially say like her, she's under 5 feet tall. She could never ever be able to carry something like this. So
No, ma'am.
she's going to have to decide what's most important. But if we could get everything that we need in there, that would be ideal, but we just can't.
Yeah. Now, one thing my husband has been doing is whenever we go out to the woods to like take a walk or whatever, he puts his full pack on his everyday carry to get used to
Used to it.
carrying more.
Absolutely. That's a good thing.
I need to start doing that as well. Which sort of I do because when I go out to the woods, I have my computer in my bag, which weighs a ton, so that I can go out and like sit on a little log and edit my videos.
Right.
But I feel like there are better ways to do that.
But never forget your first aid kit. I don't care whatever you substitute, do not remove that first aid kit from that bag because that is a must. You
Yeah.
never know what's going on out there. You can get bit by something, you could just scratch it on something that might need to be cleaned out right quick. So don't ever, move that out to put something else in because you need that. Hygienic cruising, high analytic gardener,
Yep.
G Mama pescatarian.
Yep,
The
all the folks.
Johnson brothers and Liddy Gardner.
Yeah. So
So
that's really,
yeah.
that gives me a lot to think about, as far as what I have and what I don't. Hey, Mr. Bob's even here. Look at that. Mr. Bob, I
Mr.
don't
Who?
think you've ever been
Oh.
on my channel. You find him a lot on South Florida Sunshine's lives.
Oh, okay.
Um, he's got interesting and obscure knowledge hanging out there in his little brain. Kind of
Okay,
cool.
so another thing I got, well, I do have seeds as well because we might have to grow some food out there.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my
Yeah.
vacuum sealed food. And
Yes.
this is something that growing with Hudson got me because I realized that if we need to use those tablets, you need something big because you have to make what, like a gallon at a time to use that
Oh,
tablet. So you need to make, and you want to anyway. Why you want to make one little thing of water? So I got this. It's a nice little. It's still in the bag, but it's a nice plastic thing where I can put a purifier in here and you have a whole gallon of water at one
oh,
time.
that's smart.
And yeah, so and it has a handle on it. It has two handles on it. So I shoved this in my bag. I made room for this. Okay. So this is also in here. And I also have one of these outdoor survival kits. It has 55 pieces in it. So if it's something that I didn't think to put in there, it's going to be in this kit as well.
Nice.
So, yeah. And if I get bit out there with something, I have 2 of the Jace medical antibiotics.
Oh, that's good.
And I have zip ties. Who knows? We may need zip ties out there.
So many uses for zip ties in a bad situation. Holding up your tent, keeping your enemies subdued, all the things, all the things. Sweet Thumb, fishing hooks and mini lures. Janet's
Yeah.
cruising. The hikers have something that you can take and put your water in, and it purifies it as it goes in or as you drink it, or something you have to look in hiking store sites. James has one of those. My husband has one of those, but he's got some other things too. That's just like for hiking in general. We have that in our hiking bags.
And
We haven't tried.
I also have these pressure bandages because this, if someone gets a large wound, and it's vacuum sealed. So if someone has a large wound, you can open this up and stick it in that wound and it'll expand and it'll keep blood from rushing out of them.
Oh.
So I have these as well. You know, it might save a life, it may not, who knows, but I have them.
So I have an interesting old world remedy for gushing bleeding that I learned when I was doing badly with scissors and cut myself pretty deep. I had a friend that was staying with us from the Middle East, and she grabbed coffee grounds, used coffee grounds, put them on there. It burns more than I can even begin to express to you, but it does like clot. It does stop the bleeding. So if I were in an emergency and couldn't get to the hospital fast enough, if you have coffee in your bag, that is also something you can do. Just know if you're in a situation where somebody has to be silent, it hurts worse than I can possibly imagine. Describe.
So if you're trying to hide, you don't want to do that because
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. There will be no hiding if you're putting that on a wound.
And these are something else that I have. This can work 2 ways. Okay, I also have the bag. So if it's a stranger and you don't want to be trying to breathe on them, you can hook the bag on here and you could just to keep their chest moving up and down. Or if someone with you has pneumonia, You can pet you can pet all their lungs to try to keep fluid out of their lungs. So you can use this for 2 ways. Okay.
That's
So yeah, it
good.
comes in a little kit.
It's something to have just for general use in your car too. You never know when
Yep.
you're going to go be on the scene of an
Yeah, that's
accident.
called the CPR mask.
Mask. We used to have one. They gave it out at our CPR classes, but that's been a minute. I feel
Right.
like that was a car or two ago. Growing with Hudson, you can use clothespins and dental floss for many uses.
Yes, I have dental floss in here. I don't have clothespins in here, but I do have dental floss.
I don't think we have clothespins either, but dental floss, that's a good one. And it's nice that some of these are things that you're going to find easily around your house. So even if you can't invest in all the big things yet, you can already start grabbing an extra thing of dental floss from your cabinet and toss it in your bag. I like
have
that.
ice bags in here. I don't know where I'm gonna get the ice from, but I have an ice bag. I have the little smelly things in case someone blacks out. We can pop it and try to
Oh,
get them to come back.
the smelling
Yeah.
salts, kind of.
Yeah.
That reminded me of something. Let me shoot, my brain glitched. I don't know. It's gone again. The question may or may not resurface. Sorry about that.
Did you?
I don't remember what it was. It came up when we were. Oh, I wonder if there are any dried herbs that we should toss in a bag. Like when you were talking about the chest thing, yarrow stops bleeding. I don't know if there are others. That's an interesting question. We may Pescatarian's going to be on a live with me next week, so I may ask her about that. See what she thinks. Hey, Perfection Baby.
Yes, that's why I am trying to grow extra herbs because I utilize a lot of my herbs. So I do plan. That's why I say it's important to know what these herbs are for. So
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you know what you need it for, you can also slide them in this bag.
Yes, and all of my research I've been doing on herbs, that is the first thing that I will be grabbing. If there's any kind of disaster where society has to be rebuilt, my only value at this size and this age is in my knowledge of plants and herbs. I can't fight. I can't do any kind of hunting. My eyes are not up for that. But you know what? My book of herbs, first thing that I'll be packing. At some point, I probably need to make a copy in each of my bags.
And I do have some herbal tinctures that I have made that I do have available if I need them.
Ooh.
I told you I just got too much going on here.
You know, though, I would love to know, my little herbalist soul, I would love to know what tinctures you chose. Just because I'm curious. I've only made a couple of tinctures because vodka is expensive.
Oh my goodness. And it don't make sense to buy the smaller one because we need the big one, and that is super expensive.
Yes. I have a lot of questions about how people can afford to be alcoholics. The road to that, you got to be independently wealthy. I have so many questions. Let's see. Huga says dental floss is stronger than plain old thread and has many uses. You know, I should probably put a needle and thread in mine. I have all kinds of excess craft supplies.
Yep. See, there's my floss.
Benadryl.
I have Benadryl in case somebody gets a hold of some allergens out there in those woods or something.
That is brilliant.
I have the little towelette things that you can put in water and you can have towels.
Oh, the ones you get from the dollar store?
No,
you can get those at Dollar Tree.
They probably there, but mine came off of Amazon. I have like about 600 of them.
Wow, they have all the cartoon, like fun themed ones for kids at Dollar Tree because then it's fun for the kids to like toss them in and watch them blow up in the water. Sweet Thumb, I just saw the metal zip ties mentioned the other day. Look like they would be great for some serious repairs. I did not know that there were metal zip ties. That's new for me. Wellness with Frugal Mama. Did you all do scouts? I did not,
Nope, I
because
did not.
I was
I'm
I was
no.
I was raised in the middle of nowhere, and my parents were not interested in getting me to a lot of functions. And even if they did, all we had was brownies, and I don't know that brownies did the cool stuff like the boys did. My husband was in scouts though. He learned a lot
And
of
you
fire starting.
and it would be good if you have the activated charcoal. Because if
Hmm.
you're foraging and you end up eating something that you thought was something else, foraging will help.
Oh,
It would, it'll help from your throat all the way down. So that charcoal is good. Or if you then, and this is good for anybody who cans, because something might have spoiled that you can and you don't realize that it's spoiled, then you have this charcoal and it will help you out.
does that help with like if you get botulism or something? I don't know what
I
all
don't,
activated charcoal does.
I don't know about specific that
I don't either. I know it helps if you have a gluten
process.
allergy. That's about all I know about it.
And you can't always have batteries. You can buy flashlights that already have the solar panels on them.
Ooh, that's cool.
I hope Vision is not still on here because he be trying to do me wrong sometimes.
Hey, I like this comment by Huga. This should be our like theme for the day. Many of these items you may have around your house. If you don't have a bug out go bag, you can start one today. That is exactly what we're here for, to promote that idea so that we can all get more prepared. Yes, yes. I love that. Crooked Peach, pin many small items to a hat. That is a good idea, actually. Spreading out that weight so it doesn't feel like you're carrying so much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at that. Growing with Hudson, you have a stockpile of seeds, period, herbs, and food. I should probably do that. Absolutely. Uh,
Absolutely.
and then Wellness with Frugal Mama said you or someone said to have a reference book or something just in case the phone isn't available to reference.
Yes,
That's
I said that. And I also said when you do have reference books, if you have specific, so say that one of the reference books, you say you Googled because someone in your family had hypertension,
mm-hmm,
someone in your family had diabetes.
mm-hmm,
Those I would actually make copies as well and roll them up, which that's what I do, and I tuck them in my bug out bag because you can't lug those reference books around with you.
yeah.
So if you said, okay, this concoction right here is going to help my family if something happens because she has diabetes or she has hypertension, and
Yeah.
I'm going to also have these herbs in a little mylar bag, and then this is something that I can give her. So yeah, the books are great, but I always keep paperwork as well of the things that I know I'm going to need. You can't make paperwork of everything, but if I
Yeah.
know that I have this issue and if I need help, then I have the paperwork.
That's really smart. I didn't think about that. That maybe like right now I have I don't want to go get it, but I've got a
Hey
binder
Mona.
with all of my research in it. But in a real crisis situation, I can't really protect and carry
Absolutely.
everything.
And by
So
me eating special like I do, I also have recipes because, I cannot buy mayo like everybody else. I cannot buy butter like everyone else. These things
yeah,
I have to make. So, like we said, depending on the situation, it may be a situation where I can't make either one of them because it might be that bad. But if it's not, and I'm just away, I can get ingredients. I have
hmm.
to make my stuff. So I also roll up, my recipes and also put them in my bag.
Oh, that's I never thought about that, but that's good because if you're in if you're in a crisis situation, you're gonna need to have ways to cook all these wild edibles you find, because some of them we're not going to know off the top of our head, and there's some like red dead nettle. In a crisis situation, I would eat them, but only in a crisis situation because they taste terrible. I am not going to practice cooking them. No. That would be a waste of. Crooked Peach, write recipes, notes, phone numbers, etc. on paper and ink. If we've got places that we can go in a crisis time, the basic directions to how to get there might be good. We're talking about places, friends in other areas and things. Didn't think about that. Sweet Thumb started his bag with stuff around the house and got stuff like fishing line and gloves when they went on clearance.
Absolutely.
Wise. Huga, when I go camping, I put some sage and rosemary in the fire for bug deterrent. I grow them so I have extra. That is wise. And cigarettes, who can afford smoking these days. But you know what? As a trade item, I bet they would go well. If you're in a crisis situation, they're little, but I bet the smokers of the world would give you a lot of their stuff in exchange for those little things. What? Growing with Hudson? You've never been camping outside? Really? Oh, I'm so sorry. Analytic gardener and her huge rosemary. I have 2 teeny tiny little rosemary plants that are literally about that tall. I will be a miracle if they survive into adult planthood. Let's see what else we got here. Mona, hey Mona. I'm way behind in chat, just so you're aware.
Go ahead and catch up so you can speak to everybody.
So rosemary is good for indigestion, fatigue.
Absolutely.
That's good.
That is one of my ultimate favorites.
Yeah.
But I struggle to grow it like she does. Whoever said they struggle, I struggle, but I don't stop. Yeah. And right now, I have some growing. If they don't grow, trust and believe, I'm going to go and get that one. I don't want to, but that $25 one like this, I will be getting it. Plus, I go to the nutrition store and I have a bag this big.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't ever, I have no problem with buying herbs if I can't grow them. Yes, I go straight up to the nutrition place. We have an African store in the neighborhood. And I have matter of fact, I have a tub sitting right here in front of me of nothing but herbs.
Yeah,
so I'm going to buy them.
Yeah, I've got an herbal place by me. Excuse me, and I bought rosemary because we have so much trouble actually getting it to grow. But I think I want to find somebody who's got a plant and see, like, you can start your thyme. Like I've got these little thyme branches. You put them in water and they're supposed to root. I want to try that with rosemary.
These are oregano.
But nobody else can grow rosemary here either, so there's not a person to get them from.
A lot of people can. I don't know what's the secret.
I don't either. I think you have to buy them from a plant and then neglect them deeply. But I have a hard time buying, the $25 plant.
Oh, yeah. I understand.
Ooh. Analytic is willing to share cuttings if we want to pay shipment. Ma'am, I will be taking you up on that.
Cuttings of what? Just anything? Oh, rosemary.
Rosemary.
Because that's what we're talking about. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for all these people who said they've never been camping, why you all didn't jump on board with Vision Preparedness? The only reason I wasn't there is because I couldn't find someone to ride with me. I mean, I tried. Everybody was like, girl, don't nobody want to camp. So I couldn't find anyone to go with me. But yeah, he has a nice thing every year. Just it was last weekend, as a matter of fact. So he have them every year for those who are interested. And it is nice. You get to learn. You get to use all of your stuff. They have people there that teaches you what you don't know.
Ooh,
It's a real hands-on thing, and it's nice. But
that is
yeah,
amazing.
that's just in case anyone is interested.
Amazon has temporary tattoos for elderly dementia people, cognitively impaired, and children with a UPC code. Okay. And then they've got a phone number in case of emergency or if lost call. You know what? That's actually really, really good because you always see on the news the silver alerts because someone
Absolutely.
wandered.
Absolutely.
And you don't know that your elderly person is at that stage of dementia until they are doing it. Netta's Nest. Oh my gosh, Netta's Nest. Childhood trauma from watching Jason and Halloween.
Oh my
You're right,
God.
ma'am. That is an acceptable answer for why you don't camp. That
But
is.
you know what? When I went camping,
Hmm?
first of all, it was not over 5 women. It was all men. And so I really, because I have not camped since 12th grade. That's
Yeah.
been a long time. And so I didn't know what to expect, me at campsite with nobody I know except for the person that went with me. But it was the safest field. You wouldn't have worried about anything going on. Everybody would pass by. You need anything. If they saw you trying to do something, they come up. It was awesome.
That is really cool.
I had no problem sleeping in a tent in a pitch black park, So when you go camping, make sure you have some lights to put around your tent or your setup kitchen because it is pitch black. But I had no worries whatsoever, and everybody they had our back. It was awesome.
And where exactly is Vision Preparedness? Like, where is this event?
And it's in Ohio.
Oh, that's really close to me.
Yeah.
I gotta remember that. And Huga agrees. Vision Preparedness put on an amazing event. Watch for when he does another one. Well worth it. I've heard a lot about Vision Preparedness, but I've never caught him.
Oh yeah,
for whatever reason. So here is the deep question. This my Renaissance grandma is the question that drives me. How do you make such delicious food for your bug out bag? Because I watched your video where you were putting it in, but there's not a video for how you made it. And by the way, when I looked up food for your bug out bags, I found 1,000 links for what to buy at Dollar Tree for your bug out bag. Ma'am, I am not interested.
Absolutely. I had to think long and hard. What was I going to do? And I had to think about what would last, and so I know I can eat mushrooms. So I dehydrated mushrooms, but I wanted to make them like a jerky. Because if you out and about and you walking, that's something you could just, eat like that. Then I made squash jerky. Ooh. Then I taken fruit cocktail, and they almost, when you dehydrated them, they almost like little gummies. Little sweet
that would
gummies.
Be awesome.
Yeah, so I had that, and you saw how I did it. I have the spices and the spoon and the napkins already attached to them. Now this is whipped potatoes because you already having your little stove, so you can boil some water. So I chose things that I just needed some boiled water with. And then this one is whipped potatoes and peas and carrots. So yeah, I just made it up. So because I figured, because you don't want all that dehydrated stuff, and I cannot tolerate it anyway, because in an emergency situation, you really not concerned about diets or your calories. You're not concerned about that stuff.
No.
But I still had to be concerned about stuff that would harm my body, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah.
You need to be able
with this. Yeah.
In a situation where your life depends on your ability to think clearly, you can't be eating everything that inflames you and gives you a brain
problem. I'm telling you, if you already in a bad situation. Now I did put some lemon pepper. I do not eat this, but we are talking about emergency situation. So if indeed I have to eat this lemon pepper chunky tuna, I will eat it, but that's only if I have to. I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I'm not eating that because I don't eat that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I did add those items as well. Good for you, Netta. I am so happy for you.
Yeah, I told my husband about that. So we're buying, our Kroger has, which is where we do grocery shopping. I don't know if you've got Kroger's there, but they always have this area where you can get a bag of whatever fruit or vegetable is on its last legs for $1. And so that has been the source of all dehydration for our house.
Absolutely.
And our survival kit is much bigger because we go and I buy the thing that's $1 and I dehydrate it that night. Lather, rinse, repeat. That if you've got a place that does that, that is an excellent way. Or they'll mark down the broccoli in the bags that's about to go bad. They do that. And not only for like emergencies, but also for like cream of broccoli soup. Super good.
Okay, Mona. So if you don't want to have to keep going through the whole bag, say when you put your medications in there, you make a list. Say Tylenol expires March 3rd, 2026. You put dates on your food when you put them in there. So when you do need to remove stuff, and it's probably good to keep it on your refrigerator, something where you always are. And if you see something is getting ready to expire, you go in that bug out bag, you just remove those items. Because in the past, because like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, I would empty out the entire bag trying to see what has expired. But if you write those dates down, but let me tell you, if it's an emergency situation, I don't care when it expired.
No,
if it's a pig, it's going down. Okay.
Yep. Expired Tylenol. If I'm in a certain amount of pain, I don't care.
It's going in this body. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. However, in the best case scenario, we want to keep it going. That is cool.
We're talking about bug out bags, Miss Shirley.
Yep. And Miss Shirley, I forget what her topic is for her live, which is in 7 minutes. We were going to pass the mic to her, but I don't remember what her topic is for tonight. Her topic is burnout. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to announce what her topic was, but had a brain glitch. Miss Renaissance Grandma, would you mind telling everybody where they can find you so that if anybody here does not already know you and love you, they can go and find you and what they'll find when they find your channel?
Okay, so I am on Facebook. I don't use it. I am on Instagram. I don't use it. So this is where you're going to find me at YouTube. And I do have all my information in my About page. So anytime you want to reach out for me, that's where I will be. And you all know what I do. I cook, I paint a little, I grow food, and I might take pictures out about, show sales. I do sales a lot. So that's me.
And you do gardening and veggies and herbs. I don't know if you said that or not. You may not.
Yeah. I absolutely do herbs. Yes, ma'am. And vegetables. And my favorites are green leafy vegetables.
And what are your favorite herbs that you're growing for this year? Because you're in the Planter Garden Challenge, right?
Oh no, I'm not.
No?
I am not, because you know what? Every time planter gardeners thing come up, my garden is already gone, and I'm like, I cannot get in something, and I'm already growing. So my stuff is already about this high by the time they start there. So I just never even bother with it. But
I
my
got
favorite
you.
herbs is basil. Oh, I always tell people, if you find a fancy basil that's not normal, send it to me because I am into basil. I
Oh,
love this basil lettuce. This basil lettuce, I take it because it comes out to the size of your hand. And
really?
yes, ma'am. And that's what I use. I make sandwiches out of it. So that's my bread. Now, if you really can't take a lot of basil, you won't want that because it is like very overpowering because it is basil. But
It is
that is
beautiful.
my bread for my mushroom sandwiches. So yeah,
Ooh.
I like sage. I do these things also for when you wake up in the morning. And like I said, I do not have high blood pressure. I do not have diabetes, but it does run through the family. So
Yeah.
I will just randomly get up and drink just to keep it. And I have a wonderful blood pressure every time I go to the doctor. And
Yeah.
then I'm testing all these other things that's making it even better. So I am a herbal person. I am, and I'm doing it for health wise. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. I didn't know that basil lettuce was a thing, and now that I know that it's a thing, I
Let
need to
me
find
show you a
some.
piece. Let me break you off one. Uh, See, this one is just growing, but it will be the size of my hand. And so
Wow.
this thing would be the whole, even my big hands, it would be the size of my hand. And so what
That
I
is
do is this
cool.
is my bread. Oh, yes. So yes, this is my bread.
I'm going to have to find some of that because that is very cool. I did not know that was a thing that existed. Do you
I
already
think
have
it's new.
Tulsi? Do you
Do
already
I
have
have
the
what?
holy? Do you have Tulsi, holy basil?
I have some grown. I don't think I have it in the seed, but someone grew a bunch last year and sent it to me. And they sent me a lot, so I'm probably down to the last 4 jars, but I don't have it in seeds to grow for myself,
The
which I do
last
need that.
4 jars. Okay, when my Tulsi goes to seed, actually, I may have some now that I can send to you. Because my local gardening community garden last year had a banquet, and for their table decorations, they put sprigs of different herbs that they had. And some of what they
Oh,
had was the Tulsi, the holy basil, and it was just about to go to seed. And I put it in the water, kept it in the water, took them home because they were just going to throw them out. And they went to seed, and those seeds are growing in my
oh
garden.
yes, I would take them.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Analytic gardeners attend. Curiosity and interest has been piqued as well. And Sweet Thumb can't wait for my lettuce leaf basil to get enough for a sandwich. I wonder
Yes.
if you could use regular basil like that. Like some of the time, my basil, I have the mammoth basil
I was
growing.
just getting ready to say the mammoth gets pretty big. It don't get as big as this, but it gets pretty big.
I'm going to be trying that later this year. We will
No,
see. We will see.
no, sweet thumb. I don't have that basil, but if you like to send me some, I'd appreciate it.
Mer
I can't even pronounce
Merihani?
it.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that either.
And I
Huga
put
is.
it up in salad. It really kicks your salad up a notch as well. But you have to like
Ooh,
basil, like I said. But oh,
I
I love
bet.
this. This is the best thing I could have ever found. I love it.
I bet that would be really good with some tomatoes in your salad, and then like olive oil and lemon juice for the
Oh
dressing.
yes. Oh yes.
Mm.
And you know what else? I fix a pasta and I take this and just oh my God. Mm, yes.
Ooh, that sounds amazing. Okay, so Huga is given some great tips for kids bug out bags, which we don't have kids right now, so that's not something that I thought of. But if you have kids, you have extra mouths to feed, you have extra things to
Hmm.
consider.
Right.
So granola bars, water, pieces of hard candy, and she had a little bit more up here. Mylar blanket, flashlight, wet wipes, teepee, comfort item. I will be completely honest. I have this tiny little stuffed Batman. No matter what the circumstance is of disasters, that little dude is going to be in my bug out bag. I know he takes up precious space, but he is my comfort stuffy, and he will, where I go, he goes. So judge me
And
if you would
also,
like.
and also have activities for your children, because depending on what's going on in the world, you want to kind of keep their mind off of what's going on. So also have them some
Right.
activities.
Yes. Maybe some of those travel games, like you get to go on road trips, the ones that are about like yay big, and they've got the magnetic checkers and chess and different things you can play. Maybe that would be good. Oh my gosh, Huga has one for her dog.
I see.
That's awesome. My cats, I cannot imagine trying to bug out with our cats. That would go so many levels of bad. So many levels of bad. But anyway, it is officially time for Ms. Shirley's live. So I would love it if we could all go raid her chat. Does anyone have questions first before that? It's made me think whistles. We should have one in bags. Yes. Can whistle louder, longer than yell, or those if you're with somebody, knowing those bird calls that you can do that sound like you're in nature in case you're in a situation where you
Trouble,
don't
right?
want to whistle.
Yes.
That would be really good. I don't know how to do them, but that would be a wise thing to learn. So let me give people a second if they've got questions. And then while they're doing that, I will tell you all when Pescatarian and I worked out. Looks like next week we're going to do Pescatarian will be live with me from 6 to 7. I know we're going to be talking about some of the herbal sprays and things that she makes, but I think I'm going to ask her some questions about herbs that she would take in a crisis as well, because that's something I've never really thought of, and I think she's a little farther on her herbal journey than I am.
And one thing about it, which I call them kitchen herbs, all of us you should know by now in your life if you're allergic to kitchen herbs, because you've been eating them on your food. And a lot of kitchen herbs, I tell people to every single herb we eat on food has some type of benefit for blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, all of that. So those herbs you can always add. Now it's those other herbs you're going to have to really research and see if they okay with your body, if they, bounce back on one of your medications that you've taken or anything like that. But kitchen herbs, many health benefits.
I was shocked. When I started growing my little thyme plant, I grew it just to add to food. And as I have learned more and more and more, and as my plant has become huge, I have been amazed at how many things that it helps with. It is absolutely amazing. Huga's dog is trained to calm down to a song. If I tried to calm down my cats with a song, that would go badly. Badly.
Sadie what a good song. I can see her coming down to Sadie.
I was surprised. Sarah's Happy Hives told me to sing Soft Kitty, Warm Kitty to my cat when she was recovering from an injury. I thought if I sang it to her, I would wind up bleeding. But actually, she did tolerate that. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for coming and joining our lives. Let me grab Miss Shirley's link real quick to send you all off to raid her. That would be fabulous. Her lives are always so good. I always have a blast at Miss Shirley's. So let me paste that into the chat. And thank you for being here.
I appreciate you for inviting me. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye. See you all at Miss Shirley.